Alright, hey guys, so today I'm going to be providing a running commentary of my gameplay. So this was my first attempt. Let's see. So this is very hard difficulty. Of course, I start out. I have no idea what. Oh, right, I have my sound turned off. So on very hard difficulty, you only start out with 2 lives and a little bit of gold, and all the monsters are very tough. So first, I buy stuff. So the first thing I do is see if there are boots of speed, and if they are, I just immediately buy them. Um, or not. Maybe okay. I guess this time I decide against that. Um, because I'm a bit rusty, I go with 10 breads, and then a bunch of splash potions of recovery. Interesting. I also get some more food to reorganize my inventory. So now, for the spells, I either go Scatterblast or another Toxin. And let's see. Okay, I go with Magma Mine. So what I do here is um I generally never go for the Cubs because it's easier to lose, and so I just go with the one that I feel like doing. And if there's a special modifier, I usually go with that. So here, I'm not playing too well, but yeah, for magma mines, you want to focus on the towers and kind of just kite the magma kobolds, and be careful not to die to the little fireballs. They do a decent bit of damage, so be careful. But anyways, I get into it. I start killing the fireballs because they die in one hit, no matter what. So kill them easily. I get the high ground, and I start killing them. Now at this point, 2 waves of magma kobolds will quickly spawn. So what you want to do is maybe utilize this area to kind of funnel them, divert them, and then just run around until you gather them up into one place, and then just use your Scatterblast or another toxin to kill most of them or do heavy damage. Then you just slowly whittle down at them until they're all dead, and then you just go kill the towers. So I think I'm going to speed up this part for now. So I was also tweaking my sensitivity a little bit here because I was using a new mouse and I'm not really used to it. Alright, so that's Magma Mine. So after each normal monster turn, you get to pick out of 3 upgrade shards. You can either upgrade one of your magic spells, or you can upgrade some of your base stats. So if I get the chance, I always go for minus cooldown, because if you do the math, you can see that decreasing the cooldown gets better and better, while increasing anything else gets worse and worse. Alright, so here I study my choices. So there's a pool of 3 fights, and you can pick between two. So there's Salty Shore, Bug Bait, and the Dark Forest. And Salty Shore is a very easy one, and you can almost always consistently beat it without dying. But if that's not available, I usually buy a bow and go for the Dark Forest. All right, so it looks like here, I'm not okay. Yeah, I'm buying nothing, I guess. Oh, some more food. So also you want to generally stock up on a little bit of arrows because the arrows get more and more expensive, as well as the recovery potions, because if you use them right, you can save yourself from dying once. Like, do the math. Recovery potion costs 2 gold, a life costs 10 or more gold. So in Salty Shore, what you want to do, I mean, you don't really need to do much. Here I'm just so jump into this water because none of the mobs can swim. So this is basically cheese. And Mr. Keys, who is the creator of this map, I will link their channel in the description. Please don't patch this one because it makes my life so much easier. And yep. So the thing with these is the dogs are very fast on land, but they're super slow in water. So take advantage of that. After that, what we want to do is to be careful of these pirate captains. So they will drop mines on a regular basis, and on very hard difficulty, if you're within their range, they will do 9 hearts of damage. So try to dodge them, have awareness, but even if you get hit once, just heal up to fall as fast as you can. And I think I'm going to speed it up now. It's literally just me sitting in some water, using spells, and killing everything. Ah, I love this cheese. Okay, continuing with the commentary. So, right, let's just watch me. I'm just killing them. Like, this is cheese. Like, as long as you're careful, you will not die a single time. So just kill them. There we go. So here you're going to get upgrade shards. So I generally always go for either -1 cooldown or +1 duration. And here are the spells. So all three of these are decent spells. So here it really just depends on your playstyle. So vacuum just pulls everything towards your cursor. Torrent is you need to time it, but it stuns enemies for at least 3 seconds. And macro pyre is really good for group damage. However, it doesn't do super well against bosses, so be careful with that. Um, Also, vacuum doesn't work against some mobs. So here I'm just deciding. Let's see what I pick. So I generally either go with torrent or macropyre, or maybe sometimes vacuum, depending on how I'm feeling. And I find torrent to be really good if I time it correctly. It's decent in boss fights. So let's see. Yeah, I'm just being very indecisive because if I because these are all pretty good for my play style. So I'm just going back and forth. But usually, if I can, right, I generally like to go with Torrent because it has a shorter cooldown and has more stall potential. Since while Macropyre only slows, and enemies can get out of it by dashing or something. Oh well, I guess I picked Macropyre. Made questionable decisions. So now we have Morphology Mix and Mole Cave, as you can see from the background. However, there's also third choice Multiplicity. Multiplicity is the best one because you can cheese the boss with a bow and then just use area spells to deal with the multiplying zombies, but be careful with them since they get faster and faster. So now for Morphology Mix and Mole Cave, if you have the kelp covered cap, maybe sometimes go with Morphology Mix, but otherwise go with Mole Cave. So the moles will go underground and attack you, but that can be fixed by just running around. However, you're super slow in water in Morphology Mix, and the guardians will also destroy any columns. So, but anyways, if I don't get the mathematician one though, like either way, it's very dangerous for me. So it looks like I might be going for a Morphology Mix since I'm using a bow. Yeah, shaking for good luck. Okay, yeah. So for Morphology Mix, another gimmick is that in a few rounds, Elder Guardians will spawn on central pillars. And what they do is, oh dear, yeah, that was a mistake. Apparently I managed to mess up and throw my potion at them, which is embarrassing. I think I panicked. But anyways, so what I do here is I use the pillars to block the guardian beams. However, the problem with this is the elder guardians they break the pillars and the land, which is annoying to say the least. So yeah, like either way though, I usually end up dying like once or twice. But if I can survive this, it's fine. And you should probably generally use bows to kill the guardians. It doesn't work out that well if you don't have the kelp covered cap. So if you don't, just go with Mole Cave. And even if you do, maybe sometimes go with the other one because this one is very annoying since you have limited mobility, you have a bunch of fish shooting lasers at you. But I think I got out of this one okay. So not bad for my first attempt in a while. So a mistake here is I waste my macro pyre with it not hitting the guardian. So you want to kill these as fast as possible because you do not want to have to fight two at the same time. So I believe I got kind of lucky since it's not approaching me, and most guardians are not in my area, so I can block them with the pillars. So now this is the time when you kind of want to freak out because the elder guardian is here, and if you're not careful, it can and will break all of your pillars. So use them to dodge, and I think I'm dying here. But try using the pillars to dodge. Or not, I don't know. Try using the pillars to dodge. Make sure to keep your health topped up because, like, yeah, I died. It is definitely okay to die here. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna see you after this time lapse ends, and I think I die at least one more time. Yeah, so because I'm not very good at this map, I just spent a lot of time turtling behind a pillar and using ranged attacks, which is the best way to deal with things considering that the Guardians have a lot of health, they have thorns. So yeah, I just do that. So in general, don't go with morphology mix because like even if I feel confident that I can do it, some of it also depends on RNG with how the mob AI goes and whether or not you do well. So I think I just got really lucky this time. Right, so I just switched recording devices, so hopefully the audio quality is higher. So right now I'm just playing it safe, and there we go. I go with cooldown again. This I like spamming stuff. So now for this one, you either have Melancholy Morass, Asiog Caverns, or alternatively you can also get Bamboozled. So my strat is if I can get the Spooky Sheet, which gives you invisibility, I go with Melancholy Morass because that way not everything is attacking me. So otherwise, I just go with some speed items. So like I prefer going with the Spooky Sheet since I just really like having speed on being very fast. That's basically my playstyle. So right now I just kind of decide, do I want some armor? I probably shouldn't get armor. From my now perspective, having done 10 runs of footage waiting to be edited and voiceovered, since I don't want to just do low effort posts, I at least want to add some commentary, so I go with the Savage Smasher. Interesting. Shield armor. Okay, looks like I decide against that. Yeah, and the Savage Smasher is a decent weapon. And since it gives you speed after you kill something. And then I go with Windlace. You should not get the Ring of Regen. I got it on like one of my first runs on normal mode. I regretted it since it's basically useless. 8 seconds and 1/2 heart, right? Just use recovery potions. So yeah, I usually like to splurge on that. Splurge on these. And then, yeah, I generally save up some gold. So, yep, I'm doing Asiago Caverns. So, it has been a while since I've played. So, like, I'm not too familiar with the strats, so I usually start out here to get some good hits in, right? Ooh, and that was a mistake, okay. So you should generally use this passageway to kite out them because, right, you can do some great stalling and you can't really get cornered since the passage is one way. So I kind of forgot about it, but you can also use the portals. So by going in one portal facing in, like, for example, forwards, since you're probably doing that, you will come out of the other portal also facing forwards. That's really useful for diverting the other mobs. However, like, as a quick warning, first of all, don't get cornered by these creepers. Well, they're zombies, but they explode, and that's not very pleasant. And second of all, don't repeatedly go through portals, because what's going to happen is, right, you go, so the creepers, right, they're going to be trying to explode in front of the portal that you just entered. And then you're on the other side. So if you go back in trying to juke out them, what's the most likely outcome is that you're going to spawn, right, on the other side, and you're going to see a creeper that's right about to explode right in front of you, and that never turns out well. So, don't do that. So don't get greedy, just go through the portals, and then you can just like loop around this area to go to the other side. So yeah, and don't get cornered like this. It's never pleasant getting cornered like that. Anyways, I'm going to speed up the gameplay, and remember, don't let the creepers catch you off guard. Also, don't really try to use melee attacks because everything is pretty fast in this map, so just use your spells accordingly. Just use your spells, spam it, do AoE attacks. Probably don't waste arrows like that. And also don't stop on one of those curves. Because like you can see you're curving around, but like the creeper explosion goes through walls. So you're literally just taking damage for nothing. Yeah, be careful about low health. Like, even if your health is not full, just do that, do your best. Asiago Caverns is like pretty chaotic, but I think personally it's easier than Bamboozled, which I don't really like because ninjas and fire spirits, or Melancholy Morass because sometimes it goes pretty well because no one can see with the invisibility. I will go into this on later runs, but sometimes it goes terrible because for some reason everything, like I mean everything, can suddenly see you, even though you have permanent invisibility, and they just start mobbing you. Oh yeah, pay attention to my dreadfully low health bar. So I think I saw this, so I was kind of panicking about it. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you don't run out of hunger because like with these creepers, you really don't want to get caught like that. So I think the only reason why I took the risk is because um there are only a few guys left. So there we go. At least after this, I see. So slow is pretty useful for Macropire, but if that doesn't work out, I either get range one time. I only get +3 range one time. Okay, here we go. It's the Elder Tremor boss fight, the easier one out of the two boss fights because the Elder Tremor is mostly melee. So if I don't have a good like stone weapon right now, I go with the stone spear, or if I have the wooden pointy stick, I go with those because they have plus 0.5 or +1 attack range, which lets me just stay far away. I occasionally use arrow spam because arrow spam is a lot safer and slightly faster if I can do it. I also like to chug a few potions just in case. So here we go, Elder Tremor. So its basic attacks. First, it just runs towards you with a sword. It does like a decent amount of damage, like roughly half of your attack bar. And it's pretty fast. Oh, that's fast. Okay. It will spawn these little Tremites that like just run at you. They're not as fast, but like they can swarm you, maybe. Also, you should not go into this battle with a slow weapon because it's very fast. So you just want like a fast weapon that has like a little bit of plus attack range. It's very punching if you get caught. So also we want to watch out for, like if you just saw those orange particles, if it suddenly stops, it means that it's going to fire a blast at you. It does roughly half of your attack bar and it spawns a wall. So since the area is very big, these walls can partition off the arena, so they sometimes make it small and sometimes can even trap you entirely. So be careful about where you run because if you get cornered, you're going to die since this is basically melee boss. And for one of its more basic attacks, it jumps at you with regular intervals. So it jumps. If it lands near you, right, if you don't get away in time, it will slow you. It will deal damage to you and slow you down. So that's literally it. I'm going to skip to the point where we get it down to half health. Right, so here, when you get the Elder Trim to half health, it regularly starts summoning these TNT. They spawn randomly over the arena, but I think it's basically guaranteed. I have no idea how. Like, my props to Mr. Keys for designing this map. Like, I have no idea how much work this is. Like, great job, and I really hope to see, like, extra updates, right? Since, even though I haven't played of the original Dota 2, this is already really good, so I can't wait to maybe see like more levels being implemented or even like classes, right? Like you have rangers who deal extra damage or get like mobility boosts with archery or like rogues, etc. So what you really just want to do is kind of use some stalling or actually just run towards the empty spot, but you have to make sure that you do it towards the end. Since on very hard mode, the Elder Tremor is super fast. So like here I messed up and I got killed because I had to stay there. And also what you want to be careful of is if you're caught in the blast of the TNT, it gives you slowness for some time, so you want to take that into account. However, it can also like do some knockback on the enemies, so you have a little bit of leeway, but not much. Also, like pay attention to look at the amount of damage that the Elder Tremor is dealing to me and the damage. So in very hard mode, everything does a lot of damage, and like so many bosses are like a lot faster. So you have to take that into account and stand the move. Anyways, wow, look at me, I'm winning. And of course, I mess up and I lose life, but it doesn't really matter since I wasn't as good as Aghanim's Labyrinth 2 at this point. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to come take on some of the earlier runs, and then I'm just going to cherry pick a few runs in the middle because I feel like I'm just a lot better after like 2 weeks or so of just kind of grinding on that and doing a few challenge runs. So that's what my content is going to be. Also, I'm trying to learn Unity right now, and become a game dev. So I'm gonna see where that goes. But for now, I'm gonna do some chill Aghanim's Labyrinth voiceovers. I could maybe do a little bit of multiplayer if I can coordinate that with one of my friends or something. But for now, just enjoy this. And yeah, I die really soon in these runs. So I feel like the next video will be a fresh run. It's like before and after, and then I can go through, for example, going through what every enemy does and getting the HP values, etc. So if Mr. Keys, you're okay with that, I can go and try setting up like a fandom or a wiki to document that because honestly, right? Because that way, new players kind of know what the health values are for, and instead of just the loot table. So if you're okay with that, I'll go ahead and maybe try. Okay, now it's time for the fishing minigame. There's honestly not a lot of strats. So how it works is like you can use your fishing rod to kind of hook these fish closer to you, and by some command block magic, if they're within roughly 1 block radius and you're standing on land, they die and you get 1 gold for every fish that dies like this. So the basic strat is to, like, if you're good at fishing rods, sure, do that. But if you're not, like, you could try just and use the fish's AI since they naturally swim away from you. You can push them against land or just kind of run around, and if you see a fish next to land, just stand there and get the golden. That's actually sometimes more efficient than just, fishing normally, like a normal person.
Now, before you go and get all judgy about Aghanim the All-Powerful attempting to eke out a little more power by mucking around with the Continuum device, remember that a modern society and all of its charms was brought to you by someone trying to eke out just
Okay, so now that that's over, time for hard boiled. So now, right now, at my current level of skill, I usually try and go with Spook Town. So you have a choice between hard boiled Spook Town and the Chain Gang. So in my opinion, the Chain Gang is the hardest one due to the fact that you have Trident Drowned, and those are just always a menace. Especially since these also have AOE like melee attacks if you get too close. So my basic strat is to either go hard boiled or Spook Town. But in this case, so it looks like I apparently, yeah, I could only go with hard boiled because like the Chain Gang is sometimes just an instant death sentence, and then however in this case they have shielded. So hard boiled isn't that hard actually. The only difficult part is you have these fast little bad eggs running around and hitting you. But the main challenge here both comes from the fact that you have fast enemies, right? The terrain is fine. There are plenty of loops that you can go around. The problem is the gimmick is that the big guys, the egg fryers, the tall piglins, when they walk over Netherrack by more command block magic, they can actually set it on fire, and that does constant damage to you. So you can't just constantly run them out. And because, right, I'm still relatively new here, I'm using the gas launcher to get some AoE damage in here, even though spells are actually honestly kind of more effective. And then I eventually, like in this case for example, I think I just takes a lot of damage, especially from the egg fryers. They do a lot of damage, but they're slow, so pay attention, don't get blocked. And then, of course, I lose all my lives, and we're back to the start. All right, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. I procrastinated way too much on this, but I will try to get like videos around like about once every 2 to 3 days due to the fact that I'm now used to the voiceover type stuff. So if you want to see more come in the future, I will try and get back to me lines, but like life happened, like I'm busy. I forgot, but I am going to come back. So thank you if you're still subscribed to me, and if you have any good title suggestions, because right now I'm trying to say like I'm trying to cook up a trailer, but like that's hard. I'm getting demotivated, but I'll finish that. I promise. That's a promise. I'll finish that. So, anyways, you've listened to me yap long enough. I don't have an outro, so goodbye.